So tell me a little bit more about pushing the bones in the directions that they can't move on their own. You call it front to back pushing, is that correct?
Well, no, from the base of the neck to the pelvis, we push front to back. That's the one direction. When your body can bend forward, so if this represents your spine can bend forward, it can bend backwards, it can bend sideways, and it can twist. We all know that. But if and when a bone gets pushed, I'm going to change directions, forward, when this gets pushed forward, slides forward, there is no muscle or combination of muscles that can pull this backwards again. It just can't. We'd have to have a muscle behind our back to attach to the bone to yank backwards. Well, there's nothing behind our back to attach a muscle to. Now, there's a lot of muscles that run along here, and people think that those muscles can pull this backwards. Well, they can't. They can bend it backwards, but they can't slide it backwards. And that is absolutely critical. So, because it's stuck here, the only direction we want to push this is backwards. Does that make sense? The other thing that happens is, as I talked about the spine being very wiggly up instead of having gentle curves, the spinal cord, when this gets pushed forward, you can see it changes the tension on the cord. It puts a kink in it. Well, if this one's forward and this one's forward and this one's twisted and this one's doing this to compensate and this one's, you can see that those kinks add up and up and up and up and up. And that's just like, one of those Chinese handcuffs or finger cuffs that you put in your finger and you pull a tube and it gets tighter. It's the same thing with this. That's what happens to the spinal cord. It gets tighter and tighter and tighter. It gets worse and worse and worse. Alf Brigg was a neurosurgeon who spent 3+ decades researching the spinal cord on bodies, and what he found is that when you take a person and bring them into this posture, upright posture with your head back, it relaxed the spinal cord, and he had a virtual 100% success rate in decreasing symptoms with people, even with MS and conditions like that, because he slackened the cord, and that relaxed things, and when the cord was relaxed, and everything worked better. So there's a surgeon, Yamada, who's done research, and he actually worked with an Olympic athlete who, she was a hurdler, and she had a syndrome, tethered cord syndrome it's called, where the spinal cord is stuck inside here, and surgically he went into the low back and released the adhesions, the scar tissue. He cut it with a scalpel. Very, very strong, very hard to release, and she was able to compete in the Olympics after that. Unfortunately, he doesn't go and release what gets stuck above the low back. His idea is that tethered cord only happens down here, but it doesn't. It happens throughout the spine. And through the process that I do, we can actually release some of those adhesions without surgery and get as good a results, sometimes better.